and welcome to Damaged Us D&D. We're back in Helloran Rising, where all sorts of interesting things have happened, but we'll let Celeste tell you all about those.
Dearest Ella. Right. I'm sorry if the words I write to you are crooked and uneven. The past few days have been somewhat difficult, to say the least. With Florian missing in an unknown realm, on his own with our only way of leaving this distant past, we somehow find ourselves in. We had to resort to other means to leave this beautiful island that Ferenz calls home in our present day. The great yellow dragon Gorilla wants us to set things right and place us back at our correct timelines, for which most is not an issue. But for myself, that would mean going back to a time before we left, running from my life, from the malevolent Lork. Thankfully, after expressing this to Gorilla, she understood that my place in the timeline would be less of an issue than a time-traveling lich. Instead, she agrees to send us to the timeline that Florian is currently in, which I must admit is most convenient. After giving my thanks and wishing both Gorilla, the Keeper of Time, and Zenario, Goddess of All, farewell, we then jumped into the portal and prayed for the best. We found ourselves in an inn full of decimated bodies. I cannot begin to describe the blood and carnage we found. As we followed the trail, it led us to Florian, under the influence of what could only be a demon pressed into human form, holding bloodied weapons and cutting through townsfolk as though they were stalks of wheat. Florian, in a moment of clarity, calls for us to flee. Why he would believe we would abandon him, I do not know. And Melissa tries to threaten the demon by calling Fiona, of all beings, but he calls her bluff. Eventually, through sheer grit and determination, Yorick manages to banish the demon back to its own realm, though it takes the Well of Many Worlds with it. Florian, in his despair, falls to the ground and begins to take his pain, rage, fear, and anguish on the ground beneath him. In my attempts to stop him, I must admit I was unwise. Hoping to stop him from hurting himself, and hoping that this time he would see that his actions cause effects on not just himself, but the others around him, I reached out to try and stop his blows. I placed my left hand between his stone fist and the ground. 3 blows were all it took to break my hand completely. It may never be the same again, and I can only blame myself for my actions. I struggled to witness his intense pain, and in my haste to stop him, have likely impaired myself for the rest of my life. Yorick helped me try to best salvage what was left of my hand after Trelador gave me some of his healing strength. We then managed to avoid getting into any more trouble with the town guards by Melissa's quick thinking, and headed towards a temple ran by an old friend for help leaving the town and crossing over the river. Snow on the riverbank agrees to help us cross, still a proud disciple of Paladas, and takes us over to a new dock built by the Treading Waters, who are under Paladas's guidance.
Yay! Nice. So, as was said, the boatman leaves you on the far bank as he heads back towards the somewhat grandiose temple and new dock on the outskirts of Dar. What would you like to do?
I'll wave bye-bye to the boat.
Just sort of raises a lazy paw and just waves at you.
Right, where are we going now then?
I don't know. What is the plan?
I
I
mean, have I got to think of another plan, have I? Oh, bloody hell.
I'd
All right,
suggest that we
right.
follow Madame Miette's lead as to where we go next.
Can't hear you, Debbie.
Can't hear you, Debbie.
Muted.
Can't hear you. You're not muted, so I don't know why.
Just talk.
Maybe someone cast a spell on her has taken away her voice.
No.
Oh, there
Sorry,
it
I'm a
is.
bit adult tonight, so only just remembered, yes, the plan was to go to the Midwoods again, so I shall lead the way. as well as I know from the shore.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you've been to this shore before. It's where you crossed into Dar the first time.
Yeah, but that was like after escaping from the Hells, after,
It
freeing
was.
Peladas. And then the next time we went past this way, it was on the boat before I got distracted by a caravan going past. So I've not actually gone this way on Paul before, so
I don't believe so, no. But,
exactly.
okay, make me a... Let's see.
So just get my mouth shut.
You can do a... Let me see. Well, you can do a survival check, or you can do a history check.
Go with history, because that's a slightly better score.
Okay.
18.
18. Yeah, not a problem. You see the subtle signs left by your compatriots' caravans that way to that way, and you center yourself as to where you are in the world, which is not always easy given your method of travelling through it sometimes. And yeah, start off in the direction of the Midwood. So as you go, it's a fairly bright day. No clouds in the sky. Temperature is, pretty good, sort of early 20s. There's a nice breeze by the river as you walk off further from the river. So tell me which direction you go directly across country to the Midwood, or are you going to go via Redport? Would you like
stay
to
on
see
the
the
outskirts
map?
of Redport.
Would the map help better?
We did
The
last
map
time,
might
didn't we?
help.
When we met up with the caravan, did we not stay on the outskirts of Redport and go that
Yeah,
way?
we
No,
went past
like
it. We didn't go
we
in.
went via Redport before, in which it was decided that everyone else could go free, but I'd be executed. And refusing that, we went into the sewers, which ended up being a portal into
Okay,
somewhere
so
else.
at the
We
moment,
docked in Redport though.
yeah, at the moment you are just opposite Dar here on this shore. So the Midwood cross country, you could probably find some caravan trails to take you there. There are some low-lying hills here.
I think over via Redport.
Or we can walk down the coast to Redport. Entirely up to you, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that seems going via Redport seems like a suitably foolish thing to do.
Okay, so you
Particularly want to see that place anyway.
so you're going via Redport, yeah? You're going to walk down the river to Redport.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you start walking the river on your left, you can see slight increase in traffic, boat traffic, as you walk down parallel. Seems to be more treading waters boats than usual for this time of year. So
Be the temple drawing them out.
could be. Snow did mention that he was recruiting heavily from the treading waters.
I mean, keep an eye out in case there's anyone forcibly being kidnapped and press ganged onto the boats.
Make a perception check.
10.
10.
It was fine.
Yeah, everything seems fine. They look like trading boats, as they always do. You don't spot anything nefarious going on. Nobody seems to be on the boats against their will. You do see a few more tieflings than you normally see on Tabaxi trading waters boats, but obviously heading towards Dar. The boats you see going the other way don't appear to have tieflings on.
Question, DM.
Answer?
If my
player?
answer, if my memory serves me correctly, One of the last times we used a well, where we found out that we'd kind of time skipped 3 months,
Yes.
was around this area, wasn't it?
Was
The
that around here?
time skip was from going through the
Through
hills.
the hills. That was from
I
Peladas's
know
to...
somewhere around here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How long ago was that, game-wise? I know it's a big ask, but yeah, like roughly.
It was quite a while ago. Because you were still with snow at that point.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
was just as Peladas had been released and you'd escaped through the hells.
What's the
Quite
activity
some
like
time ago.
coming from Daghold?
Daghold?
Yeah.
You'll know where
We-
Daghold.
Yeah, it's 2 rivers long.
That's miles away. You can't even see Daghold.
Okay.
Let me show you the map again. I'll show you just in case you missed where you currently are. So Daghold.
Reason
up
why there's
here.
so many. Sorry.
Sorry. Daghold is up here. Yeah. Dar is here. You're there going this way. Towards Redport. So yeah, you can't see it. You're on the banks of this river.
Okay. Cool.
And it's going to take you a good few days to get to Redport.
Madame, yeah. Do you know of any tracks that would take us inland?
Sorry, say it to me again.
Do you know of any tracks that would take us inland rather than going by the coast?
There are some, but we don't know if we're being followed. I thought it's more just a route. You are in complete darkness, by the way.
Yeah. We cannot see you.
Good.
Okay.
There we go.
Yay.
We don't often disparage people. and
I
especially
can't
not-
hear you, Ash.
We don't often disparage people, but your friend, from some of the looks that a couple of you gave him, I'm guessing he wasn't that strange the last time you saw him.
He's always
Yeah.
been quite a bit strange.
He was nice, though. He was our first friend, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, the talks of conversions, and I kind
Yeah.
of got the subtext that they weren't willing converts.
He really did seem a bit off kilter. When we met. Well,
He went a little bit doolally when he was doing all that boat stuff, didn't he?
Well, it kind of can't be helped if he's following a crazy god.
That's true. He did give me this lovely scarf, though.
That
Helen-
is quite a nice scarf.
Peladas, who he follows, was locked beneath the water, or I'm not entirely sure, but he was locked away for quite some time,
You
and
might-
it drove him a little bit
He's a box of spanners.
unstable.
That is quite a heinous.
didn't he mention that there was an assassin? One claiming that the Peladas he was following was fake
I mean,
or imposter.
I don't know. There was an assassin that he referred to, and it was apparently dealt with.
Yeah.
So, there's something really not so righteous going on in that temple, and it gives me the well, it shivers my scales. Let's put it that way.
Gives
Be
you
honest.
the GBs.
That kind of vibe comes with pretty much every temple in Dar, but
No,
no, I understand what you mean.
People who just blindly follow a god and just need to think for themselves, don't they?
no, There was
It's
just
not
something
that.
there was something really off. I mean, most places there's a little bit off about some things or some people or some places, but I mean, I got a really bad feeling from that place. And
None of the cults of Dar have ever really been that confident.
yeah, but from what you've said about Dar, none of the cults of Dar have actually had a present god like this one.
Not really, no. So, outside of maybe the occasional mistaken case, but no. And that's probably quite. It's quite concerning considering that
And I get the feeling that it's not going to be called Dar for much longer.
be called
If
Peladar.
if Mr. Snow has his way.
Snow on the Peladar.
Drugs down.
There's definitely something weird going on.
Well, we all know that there are gods. We've
I've spoken to
met
you.
quite a few. But not all of them are.
I'm a little bit more grateful than I was yesterday to have my shine. Because he's most righteous. And I love him.
I'm also still slightly worried about what Remora told us when we eventually found ourselves in her realm again. About that hourglass.
Oh, the person we unpaused.
Mm.
She was nice as well. I like her.
Remora's nice.
I'm kind of more. She said we were all already dead. Which
Well,
is a
for
bit
being like Remora.
If you want to get all philosophical about it, then
I'd rather not.
realistically, we're all dying from the moment we're born. It just depends.
All roads end at Remora.
Whilst everyone's talking, can I just have a look around to see if there is anybody about?
Of course, give me a
Please.
perception check.
Started with me to go on, right?
Yeah, what'd you get?
13.
13. No, it's a beautiful day. Your friends are, as ever, talking nonsense mainly.
I mean,
And discussing things, but no, you don't notice anybody following you or taking a great interest in you. The boats, yeah, there are a lot more boats than you recall on this river.
based on the feelings we've got about your friend's temple and their potentially most heinous practices, perhaps we should stray away from the river and head inland.
That's also what I was thinking.
I mean, if they're taking people for conversion, we might not want to be on the coast at night because
No.
they might think that we're potential converts, and I don't really want to get into that right now.
General rule of thumb with Dar is if you're being converted, either they're gonna just kill you, force you to worship with a knife pointed at your back, or do some magical stuff to you. Though that one was rarer. It was more of an well, yeah.
Okay.
So
The tieflings that we see on the boats.
Yes.
I want to look at them a little more. Yes.
Yes.
I want to look at them a little more closely.
Oh,
I can't
right,
talk.
in English. Good.
Banana?
Right, okay. Yeah, roll a perception check. But first, I'd like a performance check to see if you can actually speak.
well, it was her hand that got busted up, not her tongue.
Apparently not. Apparently she was
Natural
licking the
20 for
ground.
33.
33. The tieflings look like tieflings. They appear to be.
Are they
families.
happy, sad?
Seem reasonably happy. There's quite a few families, and with small kids.
There's no signs of them being held against their will on board or anything like that.
Not as far as you can tell.
Well, in regards to the converts, the tieflings look like they're willing to be there. So, if they've been converted, it's a full conversion.
Yeah, that's what brainwashing does to you.
They're probably fleeing their city with its basement monster that's been eating tieflings.
Yes, I think avoiding both the coast and Redport will be for our benefit.
Very well.
Okay. Give
I want to
me.
make a point that I'm not just going straight towards Midwoods. I'm going to try and plot a course to cut across the river that goes through Redport.
Okay. Right. Okay. Make me again a survival or history check to try and work out a safer route to the Midwoods that's not going to be an obvious trail.
20.
20. Yep. Not
30,
a
20.
problem. So you take stock of your surroundings. You can see there are some very faint cart tracks. You suspect the only other person that would notice them would be Celeste if she wasn't too busy looking at tieflings. Very faint cart tracks leading off towards the Midwood, but more towards Redport, so sort of a south curve to it. You suspect that is a more travelled route for your kin to get to Redport, and there will be opportunities to head to the Midwood from there, if you so desire.
Okay.
So, striking out away from the river, you walk for a few hours. The sun reaches the zenith. Starts to get a little warm, but not uncomfortable warm. Just warm as you're walking. There's a
We
pleasant
faced a
breeze.
fireways.
Oh, in in comparison to the fireways, this is like sitting in a fridge. So as you're going along, a few more miles. Ooh, lovely. Miles under your belt. Good grief, can't speak. I've got Natalie's disease. So yeah, unless there's anything anybody wants to do, we can just accelerate the travel, or is there anything in particular anybody's looking out for, or conversations?
Every night, I'm just gonna, before I go to sleep, I'm gonna give a slight quiet prayer to Remora.
Okay, well we haven't got there yet, but we can do that when it comes, not a problem. Does anybody need to do anything, or do you want to start looking for a camp?
Start looking for a camp, I guess.
Okay. So, you off the beaten trail looking for a camp. I'll say with your natural 20, sorry, your dirty 20.
Wasn't natural 20.
Sorry, your dirty 20 for you have been this way before, so you know there's a camp maybe a couple of hours away, so you'll get there sort of mid-evening. But as you progress along this trail, you start to see, and Celeste, you, actually all of you, there's a sort of burning smell. And you see in these fields, I mean, they're not agricultural fields, they're more sort of just general countryside. It's not farmed in any great depth. There are farms, but not along this particular trail. You can see where there's been patches burnt out. Indeed, as the daylight starts to go, you can see there are fires on the horizon as well, further inland.
Not towards Redport, as in further into the fields.
Further into the fields, yeah.
I wonder what's going on there. Should we go and have a look?
Looking at the burnt patches, though, is there any way of figuring out how the fire might have started?
Make a nature check.
Is there any kind of occult meanings to the burn patches?
Ooh, make an Arcana check.
13.
13. It's definitely fire.
Arcana, yeah.
I was going to say, given Friends' intimate relationship with fire, does this seem like draconic or based on what we've seen in terms of infernal fire? Does it look
Make
sort
an
of,
insight check.
25 on the Arcana.
25 on Arcana. There, as you pass one sort of downward slope, as you're looking at it, just as a sort of angle that you get, you can see a very familiar symbol. In fact, the very same symbol you have seen on two people's chests, burnt into the countryside.
Just got to say, I clapped that Ash, by the way. Insight checking fire. Love it.
Yes, well, indeed. What'd you get for your insight? Fire insight? 27. This is not draconic or indeed natural. This would be infernal. Nature.
It's
Demons.
Nope. Not
the other one,
demons.
James.
that's
Devil.
Not demons, devils.
that's
They're
infernal?
all the same to me.
Yeah.
Things
That's... Come here and look at it from this angle. That's her symbol. The one that was on Turtledor's chest.
You know, I think you're right there. You got a good eye. I think you and Mr. Florian have missed your artist's callings. But yeah, that's definitely infernal fire. I don't like the look of that.
We should probably go and find a way to stop that.
Florian,
Because it's-
just before we get any further, Florian, can you roll me a d8, please?
Yeah.
Into the unknown.
Fuck me, it's his third time in a row. 4.
4.
Two.
Yeah.
Nice. And another one, please.
Another one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Nat. I've just got Frozen songs out of my head.
4 again. Fucking hell,
4
every time I
again,
roll a
so
D8, it's 4. Yeah.
4 hours. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Miss Miss Melissa, do you think that, I mean, if that symbol's been burned here, but she can't enter the realm, enter this plane, can she?
She can't under her own power. She would need to do something to break through.
Or would
Barrier.
someone need to do it for her?
Yeah.
Right.
She
Is
would
this
need
the-
something akin to what they were trying to do with Florian and Dakota. But I would not be surprised if she had a plan B through Z in mind.
Well, I suppose the question I'm coming to is, do you think that that's any part of some kind of summoning magic?
Does it seem like a summoning circle for Fianna, or
It seems...
is this more just random arson?
You make an insight check
Warning.
for me.
Excellent.
I have a question after
Let's
this. as
all
well.
insight check the fire.
Yep. That's how you interact with fire normally, right? Perfect.
Dan just asked if is it your scar you're asking about?
Sorry.
Yeah, I
Charlie.
was mentioning.
Dan, well,
Yeah, is my scar doing anything with this monster? Seeing
No, weirdly.
I was going to ask a similar question. Do I get any similar feelings of being pulled or anything like that? I feel like I
No,
have done
but
before.
obviously you will recognise the symbol.
18.
18. This isn't summoning. You get the it's more of a kind of stamp of ownership. You get the idea that something or someone is trying to claim territory for Fiona.
Can I see Trellador's scar from, or is it covered up at the moment?
Trellador?
It's probably covered up a little bit, but I don't wear a lot.
I want.
There would be.
Is there any way I can see if his scar is either reopened? So if there's like anything on his shirt, or a hint of the scar from when the last time I saw it? Because when we were on the island, it was starting to heal.
Yeah, make a perception check.
So, Melissa, are you saying that there's some sort of devil worshipper in the area we need to go and show the back of our out?
Something tells me that this is definitely not her doing directly, but it ain't a summoning. There would need to be a lot more carnage and blood around for that.
Would it hurt if I decided to deface the symbol almost?
I mean, your better bet would be to extinguish it.
Well,
I let me be clear. This one's not actually on fire. It's just a sort of burnt out symbol in the grassland.
Terrible for me. 19.
19. Okay. So you
just start his penis away because he was going to piss on it to put it out. That's what we do to fires, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Or inside check them. One of the two. Sorry, Nat, you were looking for
Trellador's scar.
Yeah, 19. I mean, you can see glimpses of it. It doesn't appear to be the open wound it used to be. It looks as though it's as it was when you were back on the island.
Okay.
Florian's been deathly quiet this whole time, and he will just say, still with Ferenzi's overly large cloak on him and the hood up. Anybody of y'all remember what we encountered the last time we were around these neck of the woods?
Oh yeah,
those things with the big arms and legs, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The abominations.
She's definitely got. Melissa just kind of gets sidetracked into thinking about something.
Okay.
I mean,
what if? I mean, maybe.
Well, we ain't getting nowhere just standing around here. Why don't we go?
Right, exactly. Are we gonna go? There's something around here burning, like equivalent of graffiti in the land. Let's go and knock some heads.
And then, how far from Redport are we? Would you posit?
DM?
You'd say from here to Redport, probably 2 days on Paw. If you were in a cart, obviously a day.
Carrying about at the moment.
Okay. What I'm thinking may not be true, then. We should be on our guard, though.
Right. So head towards the fires.
Keep on with our path.
But if there's something around here that needs to be stopped, we gotta stop it, haven't we?
Yep. We kill monsters. We're monster hunters.
We're monster hunters. We ain't said that in ages, Gus.
I know. We haven't met any monsters recently, have we?
Right.
Perhaps we do investigate, but we're gonna need to be on alert. It could be anything.
Perhaps the priority is to get to where we're going, so we can
That too.
find out what it is we need to do. If we can stumble across these people on the way, then great. But
I have a strange feeling that this may be something to do with someone in Redport.
The person who sent us to Hells originally.
Pardon, sorry?
The person who sent us to the Hells originally.
Possibly.
What's the tree canopy like? Is it thick?
I mean, it's not. There are copses, small bunches of trees surrounded by bushes and hedgerows. But
Can I quickly scuttle up to the top of one
sure,
and take a look and see if there's either one, if I can see a particular path of these brands on the ground leading to anywhere,
sure.
or
Make a
whether it
perception check.
makes out anything. I think my dice are just going to roll the same fucking numbers all night. 13 again.
13. To your eye, there doesn't appear to be any kind of pattern to it at first. And then you think, well, so you can see sort of 3 or 4 burnt out ones to the north. And then towards the midward, you can see at least one that's on fire currently. But no burnt ones leading up to that. But then if you look sort of northwest, you can see a couple of burnt out ones and then another one that's on fire.
If I were to quickly get my cartographer's book out and just quickly like dot of where I see them, yeah.
Yeah, you suspect that. Yeah, there's no obvious pattern at the moment, but from their placement, you think that there is going to be. It looks as though someone's deliberately putting them where they are.
Anyone remember Art Attack? Is this Neil Buchanan doing his greatest work?
Yes. Yes, Neil Buchanan, the noted devil.
Yeah, I'll run back down the tree then, and I'll just hand it over to Melissa, just like rip the page out, and be like, "This is all of what I can see, and the one closest to the midwood is the only one on fire at the minute."
Might be worth heading that way down, trying to intercept. If they're heading towards the midward.
That's what I'm saying. Right, Gus, come on, let's go this way towards the fire.
Right.
As we're chasing after the dwarves, can I see any pattern in what the pattern may specifically be in the markings that Florian's got? Is there not enough to draw that pattern yet?
Let's have a look. What can we do? Give me. I'm just trying to think of. Because of your abilities. Give me an insight check. You can do it at advantage. Because of your previous associations with devils. What'd you get? Hello?
Sorry, I completely blanked there. Sorry.
Insight check with advantage because of previous association with devils.
Thanks. 16.
16. You suspect that these symbols, if they're finished, will form a giant version of the same symbol.
I mean, she needs to get something new change it up a bit. But right, let's go.
So, you deviate from your course. Are you going towards a camp, or are you going just to investigate the fires?
No, like in the evenings again.
Towards the fire.
Towards the fire.
What others
But
are
also,
doing?
how late in the evening is it getting?
How late in the evening? It's starting to get dark. This is why you can see the fires better.
For what it's worth, I would try and call out the others and, advise that we can't get caught out in the open here.
So is anybody listening to me yet, or are you just storming off towards the fires?
I'm already following Yorick.
We're going.
Okay. So
Gus is following Yorick, and Yorick is following Gus.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
They're following each other. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So yeah, it looks like your caravan is not listening to you, or at least the dwarven part of it isn't. I don't know about anybody else. Trelador, Firenze.
So, I mean, it seems like just charging off in the dark would be a bad idea. So,
Yes.
do you want to sort of call them and say that we need to at least rest first and then see what we can see?
I don't think they're listening to me.
It's only just getting dark,
Yeah.
he said, but how far away is the fire?
It's, you suspect, a good hour and a half. You can see it in the distance, but up to you. I
Yorick?
mean, you can make straight for it.
Well, Miss Miette, is there any of your camps sort of in that direction that you know of, or would you be able to find one? So at least we can get a bit closer, and then because it's just getting dark, but it's not quite dark just yet.
The established camps are back that way. The best I can do now is follow them and inscribe the marks in the open, which will not leave some happy, but it might save our lives.
I might be able to help with something when we make camp. I did it for the first time on the island actually, but I think I might be able to help. So
I
come on
guess
then.
we're, as usual, following after them then.
I believe so.
Okay, so you follow after your enthusiastic monster hunters as they tear ass off across the countryside as it starts to get darker.
We are the slowest host, and I'll catch up pretty quick.
Yeah. So eventually you get within, I don't know, a few hundred feet of these fires, and they're starting to die down. And as you approach, you can see them sort of dying down, and they've burnt into the side of this hillside. Yeah, make me a
weather check
perception.
for that very certain weather condition I'm looking for.
Perception, please.
14.
14. Yeah, you're pretty sure there's a camp around here somewhere. The signs are that there should be. The geography is right. The landscape, the way it folds is right. But you just can't see it. Anybody else? As you were getting closer and closer to the fires that are sort of starting to die down, what are we doing? Are we approaching with caution? We just belting straight in? What's the plan?
Looking out. I'm definitely looking out for a figure that may be starting.
Okay, perception check there, please.
Is there any newer fires that we can see?
Perception check.
I'm looking out for monsters.
Perception check.
Yes, I'm a monster hunter.
I'm looking
12?
12?
for anything that's moving towards us or
Okay,
nearby
perception
us.
check. So, Melissa, you were looking for any figures starting with the fires, and you can see no such figure. So, Yorick, you were looking for
new fires.
New fires. And what did you roll?
These ones it's time to die down. Maybe whatever's doing this has moved on. I've got 20.
20. So there's no new fires sort of in the direction you're travelling, but you can see off to your left in the distance, maybe it's difficult to tell in this terrain, but possibly an hour or two away, you can see another one. It's very bright, as if it's just recently been started.
I think we're a bit late.
Gus, you were looking for monsters.
Yep, I rolled 6.
Nope, no monsters here. It's completely safe.
Right.
Celeste, sorry.
Sorry.
Celeste, you were looking for anybody following
Anything
you
that moving.
or anything moving.
23.
No, the dying embers of the fire is all that you can see that's moving. There doesn't appear to be any wildlife about. It all seems to have fled.
There's no signs of anything alive nearby. So whatever set this fire scared whatever was here away.
Is there anywhere that would look like a likely place to rest for us? Because obviously,
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
Apologies if I missed this, DM, when we came across these symbols first. But looking at the ground, does it look like they can be damaged or broken? Or does it look like... Because I'm trying to get at, I'm not magical at all, but does it look like if we were to put like a quarterstaff or a sword through them, it would break up this symbol? Or are they like magically implanted into the ground?
I mean, you welcome to try. Just looking at it, I don't see how you would know that.
Like, it doesn't look like it's just like being like a stamp in the ground with it like being mud or rock, where it's just being like imprinted into it. That's what, like, I suppose I'm trying to get at.
I mean, it's fire damage. Infernal fire damage, so it looks pretty...
I'll just use my quarterstaff and just see if I can just like put a notch in one of the symbols lines to see if it breaks away.
So as you drag your quarterstaff across it, trying to sort of break the symbol, you drag it and you sort of bounces over it, not actually damaging it at all.
Well, that's peculiar.
I'm going to attempt to cast Frostbite at it to see if I can put out the remaining embers. Which is Constitution save.
I mean, it's the ground. So it doesn't really have a con save. So, I mean, you hit it.
Do you want me to roll the damage? It's
please.
frost damage. 10 points of frost damage.
Which you take as it bounces straight back off.
Yeah.
Well,
not my best day.
So
Celeste, do you want to just calm down a bit on attacking yourself?
Yeah, just chill out, perhaps.
I mean, yeah.
So we've just raced over here towards the fire to try and stop whoever's setting the fires. But now all I can see is that the fire is over there, and that's another 2 hours away, maybe?
Right.
There's nothing we can do to put them out. Apparently they reflect anything.
So, you see, if it's infernal magic, that might be where you're going wrong, because you're trying to freeze infernal magic. See, it might respond more to either healing or radiant magic, because these kind of critters are usually quite, shall we say, averse to the righteous damage from us types.
Well, I could try healing it. I'm a healer.
Can I go into my think tank to see if that has any merit?
Make a straight up intelligence check.
I mean, do we need to? As far as we know, it's just graffiti, isn't it?
I mean, symbols mean everything.
Well, considering that his quarterstaff went bumping over it and her spell reflected back at her, I'm guessing it's not just a symbol.
Think about your attempts to heal. Oh dear. Straight intelligence?
Yep.
6?
6. You have no idea.
Join the club.
Not a clue.
I mean, the
half
only
of
thing
what Fred said may make sense, but the other half kind of doesn't.
it's going to be the thing where it's not going to be easily interfered with. Think like the wound on Trelador and Florian. You couldn't heal that.
See, I've got a spell that kind of combines my flame and radiant magic.
Yeah,
I'm going to
you
go
were
over
trying
here.
to grab my attention there. Is there something you wanted to say, Debbie? Sorry.
Yes, just while all this excitement is going on, I want to try and grab Florian because he has helped me locate camps in the past, and trying to get him to help me locate the camp in the area so we have a bolt hole.
You can do a survival or perception. If one of you can have advantage, whichever one you want to do that.
Certainly, madame. What are yours like? I'm +3 on both.
I have a +7 on perception.
Boom.
Sounds like you're doing that
Sorted.
with advantage then.
Natural 20. 27.
Nice.
And the other one was an 18, so I feel like I'm going to fail for the rest of the evening.
Welcome to my world.
So, as the discussion is happening, the two of you sort of walk to the side a little bit, and yet you're like, it should be around here somewhere. It should. The signs will point to it. And Florian sort of, you agree that there's those sort of spiral entrances, and you see one, but it's just on the edge of this fire, and as you walk across to it, you can see that the entrance runes have been obliterated. There is now just smaller versions of Fiona's symbol on the entrance to this.
Whilst me and Mia are just away from the group, Florian's just gonna kind of cowls up just a little bit, not completely, and just look her in the face.
And does she see the tentacles?
And Florian's just going to be like, I know you've tried to advise me in the past, and everything's been with good intention and to benefit the group. So to you, madame, I do apologize on my, what I'm sure the rest of the group is calling recklessness. But I just had to try something. But if anybody's going to listen to anybody, it's certainly not going to be me at this moment in time. But I think that if it's infernal magic for these runes, maybe myself or Chelador might be able to get through that barrier. Or maybe if someone can try and dispel it, like we've tried in the past. I just think it'll come better from you than it will from me at this moment in time.
I'm not quite sure what you intend yourself or Philador to do, though.
Nothing seems to penetrate this infernal magic apart from infernal magic, so the new acquaintance, as I was called, I made, said he could smell it in me, smell it on me, everywhere, and could also smell your beloved friend too.
Just because you are touched by infernal magic does not mean you wield it or protect it from it.
No,
I myself am not convinced that your Villador would have the necessary powers to bypass these moves.
I'm just a bit
Um,
like you. I'm not magically inclined, but
If I'm very, very quiet, Florian won't remember that I'm here.
oh, I know you're there. Florian is just being absolutely shut off and shut down. It's just a thought, but if any ideas come from anyone, Madame, it's probably best
I mean,
from you.
You can try. Though before we go back to the group, I want to scout around to the other exit, just to check what its condition is like.
Sure. Do you want to go round the camp as you know it, or do you want to go
Yes.
into the camp and then through that way?
Round first, because
Okay.
the way you've described it, I would have to bypass the infernal rooms to
Well,
get into the camp.
The rune is just obliterated the protective rune of the entrance, meaning that it's probably no longer protected.
Mm.
You don't get the
But
feeling.
would I not have to step over the infernal room?
No, it's on the side as you because you
Right,
normally
okay.
as where you trace it with your claw to go in as you go
Yep.
in. That was where it would normally be, but it's now Fiona's symbol.
Okay, in that case, go in the entrance right there.
I grab Miette's arm before she does that. Do you remember when we were hid outside Darkhold?
Mhm.
We were visited, weren't we? And they'd done the same thing on your runes, and it was almost like we were caught in a spell, if memory serves me correctly. I probably wouldn't cross that barrier. DM's got a confused look. We were outside
Confused look.
before we went into this is now going back probably last year, but we found a suitable cave entrance with one of Madame Biette's symbols on and camps, but Trellador had the scar, and it felt like even though we were inside the runes, over time that his chest was getting more painful and more painful.
That was the corrupted camp, the one where Balo woke me up to give me the warning that we had to get the
everyone.
hell out.
One where it come over the top.
Yeah. I remember that one as being the one that I struck through as we left to go, this camp is compromised.
Yeah. Oh, it's just
I don't remember it being specifically Fiona's room.
I
No,
don't.
it's-
it wasn't
I'm
used
just.
my
But
camp.
that is just a conclusion. Florian is jumping to from the last
that's
camp we
fair,
went to,
that's
what was
fair.
corrupted.
No, that's fair. Did you want to see anything DM or shall I go ahead?
No, you go ahead.
I do remember, but I need to see how badly this camp is compromised. I need to see if this room happened to land here or if both of the protective rooms at the entrances were attacked.
Battle. I'll come with you.
So, as Miette and Florian disappear into the camp, the rest of you were up by the fires discussing possible means of extinguishing and or breaking the symbols.
I still think it's more important to stop the thing from starting before we. There's no good putting out fires, chase slower than the fire starter can start fires, because then you'll never
Yeah, we
Okay.
should definitely stop this from being finished.
Yeah, but the only problem I see with your logic is they've already got a 2 to 3 hour head start on us.
Yeah,
And
but maybe I might be able to ask the big man a question, quite specifically. What direction do we need to head to intercept the creature? Bit of divination, you know?
Either that, or I could study this map that Florian's drawn up and try and figure out where they're going to have to go next to keep drawing the pattern.
Do you think it's
If you want to
wise
do that, it'll only take me a minute. I think. Let me just check my spell.
what were you saying, Tredador?
I was to say, do you think it's wise to bother him with such a trivial matter? Yorick?
Well, it's not talking to him directly, right? It's just casting a spell that gets me some information.
Oh, every time I cast a spell, I talk to him.
Right? Okay, well, while you try that, I'll do this, and I'm going to sit down, just find some non-burnt ground,
Easy
and just
enough.
trace a little symbol of my own out in the ground and cast divination.
Okay. So, divination. Talk to me about your divination spell.
So, just get to ask a single question about a specific goal in very short ways. So, yeah, I want to ask
Sure.
exactly where to head to intercept this creature.
Okay.
Spell.
So, divination. You sit, you concentrate, clear your mind, just as if you've had that first sip of ice cold beer. The clarity hits, and you ask, where can you intercept this creature from setting the next fire? And there's not a sort of, there's no words involved. It's more a sort of a, and if anybody's watching Yorick, you see him just sort of rise off the floor just a little bit and start to spin very slowly until you're pointing towards the midward, but off in a direction between where you are and where the fire is. So you can sort of triangulate to, you would suggest about a 4 hour walk, sort of northwest. So you'd bypass the fire that's really bright and hit the next one. But that's if you go now. It's 4 hours away. But if you were to rest for 8 hours, it's weird.
My information will be outdated.
No, wait.
Oh.
It's weird. If you were to rest for 8 hours, the intercept would be behind you. About an hour away. Strange. It's really strange. Very odd information.
You really want us around.
Up to you. I mean, you can plod on for 4 hours. That's not a problem. I'm more than happy for you to do that.
Right.
Or you can ignore them all completely and go back to the river and have a boat trip. Up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Okay, cool. So those still around will see as I'm sort of floating and having spun. My legs just sort of drop back to the ground and I just land gracefully. Right. We got two options. The big man has pointed me in the right direction.
Literally.
Either we go north-northwest for about 4 hours and catch up with it now, then 4 hours time. Or if we wanted to take a break, have a rest, stay here for a night, we can go back that way for about an hour. But we've got to get that journey started in like 8 hours, spot on.
If we do rest, then we need to be keeping a tight watch.
Of course.
I might have something that might help keep us safe. I can summon a guardian, which will watch over us for 8 hours. At least that might give us some warning, or give somebody trying to sneak up on us a bit of pause.
Sounds pretty handy.
I can keep
Yeah,
us safe.
Bridget to come as well. She can watch over on us.
Yorick, the hour behind us, is it where we just came from and walked from an hour to get here?
Pretty much.
Yep, pretty much.
So they might be restarting the fires then.
I do know.
Or are they all... Does it look like they'll be like starting the last one to finish a ring
No.
or so? No?
No, it's you get the impression
Can't hear you.
that
Oh, there you go.
you get the impression that you've got there's obviously some sort of plan, but how they're executing it is a bit haphazard. From what Yorick's just said, the one 4 hours away would be the tip of one of the inverted hearts, and to go back again would be the point of it. So they're not doing it in a logical way to draw this thing. So it's a bit weird. There's obviously some rule being followed, but it's not anything logical that normal people would draw out a symbol with.
Okay.
So
That'd
let's
be our best bet. Miette, Florian?
You see them not. So, but I can see them. So, Miette, Florian, as you walk boldly, carefully, quietly into camp,
Quietly,
muted,
for sure.
Carefully.
carefully and quietly. So, let's have some stealth checks, please. As you wander down into the hidden path that takes you to the camp.
Don't worry, you cannot beat Celeste's perception.
24.
24
And a dirty 20.
and a 20. Nice. So, the pair of you sort of melt into the shadows, and you can feel that sense of safety as you walk into this camp. The familiarity of it, the clever use of geography that hides you as you walk past. Entering the camp proper, as you wind round into the main area, you can see it's seemingly untouched. There's nobody here. The fire pit is where you would expect it to be. Looking at seating rocks and places for bedrolls, it looks perfectly normal. Heading to the other exit, you can again see as you go up out of the camp that symbol, the protective rune has gone. This time not replaced by a symbol of Fiona, but just burnt. As if it's part of one of these lines that are going to make up this larger symbol.
Camp was targeted. Or at least that's what me told me.
That's a fair assumption.
So turn around the drawings. We have to go back to the others.
Indeed. And as we walk back, Florian will just look at his quarterstaff and linger over the bedroll still in the camp, and then keep walking.
Just thinking of tying it to each end. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, as you are turning around looking for Florian and Miette, Melissa, they suddenly appear as if by magic out of nowhere. It's really disconcerting. And even you, Celeste, was just like, they just appear. So, they rejoin you. What's the plan?
There was a camp near here that I was checking for our use, but it has been targeted by the same thing that has created these fires. It's no longer safe.
That's not good. We were going to suggest taking a rest. Based on what Yarek's figured out, we may be able to intercept whoever's doing this.
I
Because
think we very much
I'm
need to do that.
definitely. Especially if he's this close to the Midwoods.
Not to be the voice of reason in this time, but is it wise for me and Cholador to be potentially in the center of this?
Well, unlike as it is for you to be the voice of reason, sorry, do we have to sleep right on top of this? Why don't we just move over there a bit?
If you were going to set it off, you'd have already done that by messing with it with your quarterstaff. So I would probably say that you should be fine for now.
And if this was anything to do with the ritual involving you two, your scars would be burning.
I think you're all worrying too much. Just go and have a rest, and then we'll go and bosh something on the head in an hour's time in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll stay up for a first watch if anyone wants to stay up with me.
I'll
I'll
join
stay
you.
You won't
with-
watch us.
Because I've got an idea on how to protect us if you're.
I suggest that we have 2 people at a time at least.
Okay, so where are you making camp? Are you using the Tabaxi camp, or are you heading off to?
I think we should use the Tabaxi camp. It's nice.
It's
We
been
can't
done
use
through.
actually it has been compromised.
Where else are we going to sleep then? Because no matter where we go, we're going to be just as compromised. So, would you rather sleep with somewhere where there's only 1 or maybe 2 entrances and we can plug a hole if we need to? Or would you like to sleep in an open field where we can be attacked from any
Hasn't it
angle?
said that the symbol burnt through the camp?
No, it hit the edge of the second entrance or the second exit that Miette was investigating.
I think there's still some of the protective magic near the camp because it took me and Madame Miette quite a while to find it.
I
So
mean,
it's-
I am pretty good at seeing things going on around us, and it did seem even to me that you appeared as if from nowhere.
That was a matter of geography in the planning of the original camp. Friends, I apologize. There are matters that we have not discussed with you yet because they weren't pertinent at the time. Of all the creatures hunting us here, one is, up until recently, I thought it was a thing of legend, something just used to scare the kittens, but there's a creature composed almost of fog that hunts us, hunts my people particularly, and my people's magic can protect us from it.
I remember.
Are you saying that? So, are we talking fog or are we talking fog?
Fog.
Fog
You're
being
speaking of
being-
a god, which we cannot speak its name lest we draw its attention.
Well, I kind of getting that from what you're inferring, but are we talking sort of like, fog where you can barely see in front of your face, or are we talking light swallowing endless depths type of video?
the second
We're more
one.
talking about the pulling your soul out of your body in the most painful way imaginable and endless torment.
Okay, so kind of the antithesis to me. Whoa, that was a large word. Antithesis. That's righteous. But I've got lots of light spells that might work.
Mm,
So I
Light
can
didn't
probably,
do much good last time we fought it, but Yorick's golden magic did.
well, I okay. I kind of feel like we're getting off track here. So, are we sleeping in there, or are we sleeping in the open field?
I
Because
think we should sleep in there. The camp's a
it's
lovely.
Miette's call whether we go into
Nope.
that camp or not.
I don't think the camp is safe.
There we
Is
go.
it?
We find another camp then.
but if we have to find another camp, we're not going to get our 8 hours of rest, which means we're not going to be fresh for the fight. So it's kind of here in the middle of
I've
nowhere.
got an idea. Why don't we march an hour that way to where we're going to meet the thing in the morning, sleep there for 8 hours, and then we'll be waiting for it when it turns up.
Because we will still be asleep when we're supposed to arrive.
What?
The whole point is we rest here and now from what Mr. Yorick said, and then we travel for an hour.
He's right. It's 8 hours and then travel for an hour, or we travel for an hour and then sleep 8 hours. It's still 9 hours from now. Either way, you.
But we
And
might
it-
miss it if we... and we might not have the opportunity to sneak up on it if we travel now.
But
It
we
might
get
up on us.
Shh.
So, I mean... I suppose I should listen to Shine and trust you guys, but I think that you're making a mistake by not resting here.
We're not saying not resting here. We're saying not resting inside the camp.
But the only other option from inside that camp is an open field.
If the well-experienced Tabaxi traveler does not want to stay in that camp, we are not staying in that camp.
Miss Mia, is there another camp somewhere between here and where we came from, about an hour's walk, that we can use to sleep?
It's a little over an hour when I originally called the people to rest. It should be far enough away from the fires to build up protection.
Should we go there then?
We miss our opportunity. Because then we'd be potentially 2 hours away when we only have an hour to travel.
Celeste, does your spell of summoning the horses or owls available to you?
Yes.
So with Celeste's help, we could catch up on the time difference and still have our advantage.
Hey, let's do that then.
Okay. So the plan is to get some animal form transport, ride to where you originally were going to camp, and then in the morning do the same.
I think so.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So, Celeste, you have the spell slot for that, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just double checking I can summon.
No, she's got a long rest before we can do it.
Now that would be funny.
Yeah, so I'm going to summon 8 giant owls.
Okay. The owls appear.
They will last for an hour. But I can cast it again if we need.
And the owl's
That should be
flying
sufficient to
speed
get back to the camp.
is 60,
60
right?
feet.
Okay, so which is twice your guys. So, yeah, if you go for half an hour, you'll be, well, go for half an hour, you'll be where you were when you wanted to camp.
Yep.
And then you'll be
Yep.
an hour away from where you need to be. And or half an hour by owl. So, not a problem. You get on your winged beasties.
Does just logistically,
Yeah.
the sort of 9 hour passage that I was given, would that nicely coincide with sunrise or something that we can?
For ease of, yes, we will do that. We will say for ease of,
Yes.
time dilation and mathematics, yes, we will do that.
Do we have an alarm clock?
Yeah. Because basically,
Basically,
elves.
when the last watch finishes, you will have half an hour to get to where you need to be. Okay?
When the last dewdrop in the world dries up from the sunrise, it's time to leave.
Oh, God, don't monk shit again.
I'm basically going to say to Trelador, get your 4 hours of sleep now, or meditation. Once you've got that, as soon as like first light hits, then get everyone up, and we get moving. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
So, the owls carry you back, not quite to where you were, but just close enough to where a safe camping spot. It's not a tabaxi camp, but it's a safe camping spot, hidden. And yeah, you can start to make camp for the night.
I don't do my rune thing.
Okey-dokey. So yeah, it goes round inscribing runes on the floor or in the dirt. And we'll take a little break. And we'll get a drink and be right back. Here we go. Cool. Right, break time. Niet has transcribed protective runes around the entirety. Yeah, who's taking first watch?
Yeah.
How many ways into this place are there?
I mean, it's like a small coppice of trees, so it's kind of open. There's no. It's not like a tabaxi camp. It's not a sort of one in one out type of thing. It's just a camp that you've set up.
Okay. So, is the well? What I'm saying is the way that's more likely or more easy to get in from a certain direction? Or...
Sure. Yeah. There's a sort of a wider opening between some of the trees towards the front of the camp.
Okay.
You want to stick your guardian up there, do you?
Well, I was just thinking, sort of, I want to keep them sort of closer in so they can actually protect us, but I want to kind of set up a because I can do it twice. I've got 2 4th level spell slots left, so you can see sort of friends pull 2 sort of dragon scales out, and then rub them together and ignite them, and then throw them, and you'll just see sort of like for a second you'll just see the outline of 2 sort of like hulking draconic figures with a sort of sword and shield, and then the body just fades and you can just see the gleaming sword and shield emblazoned with the symbol that he wears around his neck.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm assuming you're doing Guardian of Faith, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm going to do it twice, so there's sort of just 2 guardians either side of the camp, and they last 8 hours.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
And I'll call Brudris
Okay.
because it's bedtime, so we can snuggle up.
Absolutely. She appears. Oh no.
Hello, sweetie. You all right?
Yep. Lots of fires over here then. Like over there and stuff.
Yeah, someone bad's doing something. We're going to go and kill him tomorrow.
Oh, time for a snack then.
Yep. So if you want to come and snuggle down here, we're going to stay on watchdown, make sure no baddies come in.
Okay. I had a snack for ages.
Okay. We'll make sure it happens tomorrow then, eh?
Awesome. Right then. Sleeping time, yeah?
Yeah, well, sleep with one eye open because we're on guard duty.
Oh, right. I'm not sure I can do that. You can see her just try and work out which eye to shut while she's asleep, and falls asleep with both eyes shut.
Yeah, I'll just sit next to her and gently stroke her head.
Okay. So who's on watch? It's Gus and Yorick. So the dwarves first up. Okay. So as you go to your rest, unless there's anything anybody else wants to do.
I've messaged you.
Oh, okay. 3 times apparently. Cool. Sure. Yep. Okay. So, as you take your rest, let's have some perception checks from those on watch, please.
Oh, that's good for me. 18.
Nice. 20.
An 18 and a 20. The dwarves are on it this evening.
Yeah.
So, as the rest of your companions drift off to sleep and or meditation or whatever it is they do, you're not sure, some of them, looking out amongst, you can see those sort of glimmering shield-like beings that Ferenz brought into being. And beyond that you can see the quiet sort of rolling countryside. And in the distance you can see the fire that was bright is now sort of dimming down. And yeah, not a lot else. It's quiet. And
Do you want a game of dice?
Yeah, right.
Right, I'll get the bones out and we'll have a game of dice.
Okay,
Pass the time.
fair enough. Do you want to actually play a game of dice?
No, it's all right.
All right, okay. Just for flavour. Fair enough. So, you while away your watch playing dice. Not going on. Bridges snores occasionally. Who would you want to wake up at the end of your watch?
Who are we going to wake up then?
I don't know. I'll get friends up.
All right, I'll get Florian.
Okay.
And I'll go and kick Florian.
Yep. You are both awoken by your respective dwarf.
Battle.
Time for your watch, mate.
Shiny. Right. Enjoy your sleep, Mr. Yorick.
Cute.
I'll go and. Did you see anything? Was anything up?
Yeah, it's all quiet.
Right.
Your
okay.
guardians have stood there. Pretty cool. I like them.
They will, and if anything comes sort of like within 10 feet or so, they'll whack 'em one.
Yeah, gives me a thought. Anyway,
Right. Good.
I'll go and snuggle up with Bridris. And
Okay. So let's have some perception checks from those on watch then.
Yeah, not too bad. 23.
23.
I got 19.
19. Nice. Again,
Do I have to roll at disadvantage? I have not got dark vision.
Yes, you would.
Okay.
Just thinking about it.
Well, I mean, you could use your hearing. So, let's say...
It's either or. The disadvantage was a natural 15 roll for 18, so...
yeah, that's fine. So,
Yeah, I'd still be 23.
you, looking out past Ferentz's little shiny, vague outlines of these things that he's created, you don't see any obvious wildlife. The smaller critters you can hear, but there's nothing big out there. There's nothing sort of, even medium-sized predators, night predators, are not about. It's very odd. Especially for you, Florian. You're used to, when you're on watch, you can hear these night creatures hunting and flying, and there's nothing apart from the tiny creatures. Apart from that, you do notice Miette just sort of twitching in her sleep. Miette, you're asleep, you're having a perfectly interesting dream when Balo appears. Seems quite cross. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? Have you seen this? And he gestures, and you see an expanse that's sort of familiar and at the same time brand new, as you realise you're in his realm, and there are demons everywhere, burning things, killing things. Balo is incredibly So, what did you do? I know it was your lot. I absolutely know it. Now, I am not happy. Now, it's going to take me a while to deal with these, but you make sure it doesn't happen again. Or I just might have to retract any favours that I may have done. Do you understand?
Yes, my lord.
Good. He seems slightly mollified at the use of the word lord. Find out how it happened and prevent it from happening again. You are my favourite, but there are limits. Now, back to your slumbers while I deal with this. You can as he turns, you can see he's just like laying waste to great sways of these demons that are sort of trampling all over his castle, and just like You see him just like throwing demons around, and they come scurrying back at him. It's yeah, it looks like the abyss with demons everywhere.
And there's Fiddy hiding his face.
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes, it's
I'm happy.
I love how the reaction is like, we lost a demon lord. It's like, what are you gonna do? Bale being upset with the party. Everyone panics.
He's not happy. He's got a
And
demon
Balo's just
infestation.
thinking, yes, it's chaos and disorder, but it's not my chaos
Yeah.
and
Yes,
disorder.
disorder. Yeah.
So,
Funny, I was gonna try and, use that kind of logic. When he's calmed down a bit.
probably best to wait, I'd say. But,
Yeah.
anyway, back to the Watchers. So, Florian Frez, you see Miette sort of twitching and mumbling in her sleep. But, yeah, your couple of hours passes.
With our perception checks, one thing I was going to ask before you
Yeah, sure.
dream dove was, so we don't notice anything there, but from where we've walked, so from where we've come from and from where we are going to in the morning to this other room, do we see any more fires? With it now being pitch black, does it look like there is now like a line of fires, as in they are staying alight?
There are some new ones back towards sort of the Red Port way. You can see at least two. But
Okay.
nothing from where you came from. You get the idea that whoever is setting them and letting them burn into the ground to mark the territory.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as though the fire is meant to be there eternally, but the marking certainly is.
How much light do these guardians give off?
Very little.
They don't.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a mere sort of glimmer. If I'm reading the spell right, it's just a sort of
Yeah, so you'll see you'll see a sword and shield, but they don't give off light. Like,
Okay.
some things shed a dim light in within the bright light or whatever. This doesn't do that.
I mean, you could
Okay,
probably
cool.
only see them because you know they were there.
Yeah, no, completely. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So, the end of your watch, who would you like to wake up?
Well, I think
both elves
Celeste
have,
goes,
finished their 4 hours, so
I am just going to nudge Melissa. Just to wake.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Right, much.
Well, the elves are awake, but you got that parchment I handed you earlier on?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to, I know I haven't seen them, I just can see the direction. I'm just going to, like, guesstimate where these new fires near Redport may have been.
sure.
With what I've already got, knowing that it's a symbol, the symbol I've got.
Yeah, sure.
And just be like,
Give me a quick. You've got cartographer's tools, haven't you? Give me a quick tool check. So give me a. It's usually. Give me a performance check, but you could add your proficiency
Efficiency.
bonus.
okay, cool. Plus 5, 16.
16. Yeah, you. Judging by what you've already had down, and the new ones that you've seen, you can start to plot this. It looks like they're doing, because the symbols are sort of like upside down hearts, aren't they?
Mhm.
So it looks like they're doing sort of point and then point and then to a point in the middle. But you're doing it in a haphazard sort of way. So you can see the picture starting to come together from what you've seen, but it's not in a structured way. It's as if you've said to 3 different 5-year-olds, draw
Yeah.
this picture, but only allowed them to draw a third each.
Yep.
So you can see eventually it will match up, but it may take some time.
Just for food for thought in the morning after we've had the rest. But at least we can confirm it and kind of know where they've been during the night. I'll just say to Melissa.
Sorry, I think.
Yeah, I just basically said just pointing of where I've just put them in that, just confirming the new ones that are put in and
Yeah.
food
It's
for thought.
definitely putting in a pattern. Making a big one of the ones they've got. I wouldn't be surprised if she is behind this.
I don't think it's gonna be her though. Just FYI.
No, it's not going to be her. It's going to be someone else.
A lot of something else's, I think. This is big.
There's going to be someone powerful behind it. And honestly, I don't think I would be surprised if it was Droust. I just have that feeling.
No. Rest up or stay away, whichever. But
You definitely need to rest up.
Okay. So whoever's on watch, give me a perception check.
I've been watching the elves.
Okay.
31.
31.
Not that I should be.
And that farted 7 miles away.
I'm sitting right here.
23.
23. Nice. And Melissa?
7?
7. Perfect.
It's a thought that counts.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you're not aware of anything really. It's kind of dark and yeah.
Human.
There's no sounds. It's kind of quiet. Trelador, you again see the sort of hint of these beings that Ferenz conjured, and you can see out in the distance these new fires as well. But other than that, there's nothing particularly interesting or captivating, apart from Miette twitching occasionally in her sleep. But she's a cat, that's what they do.
Yeah, I just think she's doing cat stuff.
Love the part is concerned from yet.
Celeste, you also see all of those things. But catch the word Lord from Miette. Interesting. And as you're thinking about that and sort of looking out on the horizon, looking at these new fires, you see, or hear rather, a sound of some sort of, maybe a horse, just snort just a little bit. It's far away, really far away, and then nothing, as if a patch of silence was moving. It's really odd, where there should be natural sounds, and you can almost visualize this sort of patch of nothingness moving across your oral landscape. It's very weird.
It's like there's a bubble of silence moving out there.
There was a bubble of silence here before you spoke, but our job is to watch, not theorize.
It's not a theory, it's what I hear.
Is there stuff you don't hear?
On occasion.
Do you think we should do anything about it?
I'll keep my ears out.
As per what Yorick said, I will be looking at the thermal, looking at some sort of cue when to wake people up. So we're up in plenty of time.
Okay. So.
At some point, I'll take the bandage off the hand, just sort of try and do some light exercises to attempt to, curl fingers and everything, even if I'm using my other hand to do it. Just sort of trying to keep the muscles going as much as possible.
You can move it, but it's non-responsive. It's very floppy.
I have no nerves.
The bones are gravel.
Ligaments destroyed.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Despite the healing you've put into it, you're not sure if you're ever going to regain use of that hand. It doesn't hurt you, but it doesn't seem to be responding to the bones knitting back together, and you should feel some hurt if that was happening. So, as we continue on to the morning, Trelador, at the first sign of light hitting the far horizon, you suspect it's probably time to wake everybody up.
Yeah, I'll wake people up.
So, we all come to have a leisurely breakfast, bit of a chat, a nice stroll. No?
Did we complete the long rest?
You do complete your long rest, yes.
Right. We
Florian,
get moving
before
now.
we do anything else, a D8, please.
Fuck's sake.
Stop rolling fools!
Like, what's that in a row? 5 in a row
Do
now,
not
I
roll
think?
double fours again. I will be in so much trouble.
What are the chances, though? Balo's realm. Ridiculous. 4.
4.
Yeah.
Jesus. And another one, please.
Look here.
Fuck me, this is even worse. 1.
1. Just got 1 hour. Nice.
Look, here's the consequences of our actions.
Well, you say hour, what you mean is Florian's.
Florian's.
Yorick's for telling us how it works and it doesn't work like that.
Wow, that was a major deflection.
I don't know, who was the one that
Okay.
snuck off on his own to use it?
So, you are all awoken by Trelador in his usual smiley, charming manner.
Get up.
Just like that. Fantastic. So, anything you wish to do before calling for owls?
Just get Yorick to strap me up again,
Yep, sure. Easy enough.
and then come to the owls.
Let's go. Let's go.
Now, Bridris, these aren't food. We're going to ride them.
What?
You can fly with us. Unless you want me to fly on you, then you don't need now.
So I can eat one?
Well, no, because they're not real. They're magic.
You said there would be snacks.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going. We're going to fly now and then get the baddies.
I mean, really?
What?
I've got to fly before breakfast?
Well, I
So
can give you a snack if you like.
So unfair.
There's those tropic teenager dragons.
I can't understand the word they're saying, but it really does sound like Bridris says a lot.
Imagine if you could understand it. And friends are just going to chuckle and walk away.
Fair enough. So, you conjure your owls, you get up on to them, fly for half an hour towards the designated spot, and you get that, Yorick, as you get closer, you get that sort of tingle, so you're going in the right direction, here.
Right. Here we are. So
sorry, go ahead.
okay, I'm just going to have a look around first.
Okay.
See if...
Good idea.
Make a perception check.
19.
19. You look around, doesn't seem to be anybody here at the moment. You could see like fires that were set that have gone out. From the air you can see more of this pattern now. It's starting to make a lot more sense. And as you come into land, you can see there's a gap where there should be another one. It would make sense if there was another one here. But as I say, you can't see anybody or anything. And there's no fire yet.
Is there any kind of hellish smell on the air? Sulphur and brimstone.
Make a perception check for me.
As we're flying across, and obviously we notice the gap, friends will just sort of just grab the pendant just for a second and just be like, I know you're probably busy, but I just wanted to ask a quick question. If I was to use our flame strike, could I imprint your symbol in the gap instead of hers and maybe stop this from happening?
Okay. To be a quick religion check.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
What was your check, Melissa?
Natural 20 with 25.
Oof. There isn't a smell on the air, but using your sort of blood hunter skills, you can feel there's something coming. Several somethings.
There's more than one.
Quite a lot.
Which direction?
They're coming from north of you.
Come from that way.
And you suspect they're about, I don't know, 20 minutes away. Half an hour.
You've got 20 minutes.
Right, let's set up an ambush then.
You've got 20 minutes.
Okay, friends.
23.
23. You feel that warmth when you normally contact Shine, and he responds, well, interesting. I mean, I suppose you could, if you really wanted to, but I don't own or want to own the land, so I don't think it'd be a very good idea, really.
Okay, that's fine. I've got another idea.
I sort of see where you're going, but I don't think so. It's not the way.
Right, you are. Well, I thought I'd ask. I'm kind of hoping this lot got a plan, but it'll probably go to the dogs before it.
You just sort of feel this, not quite a giggle, but just a sort of chuckle in your mind.
But I'll leave you to your work. You're probably busy.
Gone.
Right. So, new plan.
New plan. Good plan, though. I liked it, but I'm not sure that Shine would want his signature, as it were, on a piece of land. Okay, so ambush was being talked about
nearby this area.
Sorry.
Are there any trees or rocks nearby this area?
Yeah, there's a few sort of big rocky outcrops. It's in the side of the hill. There's a little copse of trees a little bit further down, about 100 feet away.
I can help hide us past without a trace to make it more difficult for us to be seen before we're ready.
Did I hear that there was a lot of things coming? It's not just one
Mhm.
big
There seems to be a lot of them.
Right. Well, my plan is to go stand in the middle and get some swirling anvils going. So, not much for me to do.
Oh,
Are you going to be the bait then?
I could be the bait.
Yeah, you be the bait, and I'll go behind this rock, and you smash them with your hammers, and I'll shoot them with my crossbow, just like the old days.
Is there another bit of cover kind of separate from where Gus is setting up that I could set up from?
There is now, because I haven't actually made the battle map yet, but
yeah.
I suspect
I was
that
about to say, at this point, we say shows the map.
Yeah, I haven't made the map. I didn't think we'd quite get this far. I had some other things that were going to happen, but they didn't happen. So,
What's
you know.
the vegetation sort of situation? How high?
Yeah,
are we
I mean, think sort of rolling countryside. So you're sort of standing sort of midway up a sort of gentle sloping hill. There's a rocky sort of outcrop, as if the rock itself had come out of the side of the hill. There's a copse of trees, say, I don't know, sort of 20 trees or so, about sort of 60, 70 feet away from that outcropping, lower down the hill. So yeah, we'll go with that. The rest is fairly open. So you've got two possible parts of.
I'll land at the rock and set myself up ready to snipe.
Okay.
I get Bridris up in the air, keeping a watch, and tell her to tell me when she sees anything.
Okay.
Anything. Only about 80 or 100 feet up in the air.
Okay.
Should I just go stand out in the middle and draw them all straight in?
Well, yeah, you're the bait, aren't you? If you see you there, they're going to come running for you. And then we can smash them to the smithereens.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it. And I'm just going to walk out into the open.
Okay.
Is there a tree quite near the middle of this?
No, there's a copse of woods about 100 feet away.
100 feet away, sorry.
Yeah, so you've got this sort of rocky outcropping, and then about 70 feet away from that, there's like 20 odd trees. And Yorick is sort of striding out into the middle between these things.
70 feet away, there's the trees.
I take the cover in the trees, keeping my eyes peeled on where they're coming from.
Okay.
I mean, if you need help, I can probably talk to the trees and help them cover you a bit better.
Again, I can do pass without a trace.
Maybe not.
Okay, so who's going where? We've got Melissa off in the trees. We've got Yorick in the middle of everything. Gus is hiding behind the rocks.
I'll be near Gus behind the rocks.
Okay.
I'll go next to Yorick. We could be Reox's bait brothers.
The Bait Brothers. Nice. I like it.
Yeah, I will move over.
Master baiters.
Kind of don't want all the healing potential in one place, so I'll split off with the second group.
So you're going to the trees, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
We will hide by
Yeah.
the rock.
You're going by the rocks. Yep.
What is your interpretation of Slowfall? So, I know it reduces
God.
damage. No, I know it
Slowfall?
reduces damage. Hear me out. I know it reduces damage up to a certain point, but the way I've just envisioned what I would like to try and do
Okay.
is if I were to jump off something, as in not just jumping down, but as in jump, would Slowfall continue me in that direction, or would it just be a straight downward?
Slowfall generally just arrests your fall to sort of like a feather. So you would sort of float downward, gently down towards the ground. Now, if you were to cast it as you were leaping out, which I think we've done before, if I remember rightly.
Oh, did we not do it with the Hydra
Yeah.
in that town?
Where I think you could, yeah, your arc, you would go out, but you would go gently down. So you wouldn't go like, it wouldn't suddenly stop you and then you would float down. You would sort of float in that general direction. You wouldn't keep it the same height. You'd sort of
Yeah, no,
start going down.
completely, yeah.
But,
See, as from my position as a DM, I would read that the monk's version of Slowfall is more akin to them being well practiced and preparing for the landing, like going down into a roll.
Superhero landing.
Yeah, effectively. If it was the magic, different. But
what? Yeah, that's a very good point. What is it? Is this a feature?
Yes, it's in my features and traits.
Yeah, so 4th level.
Ah, that's not slow fall, the spell that floats you. That's slow fall. You just reduce damage.
Okay, yeah, that's why I was asking. Yeah.
But you don't. So no, it's not going to sort of slow your fall. What it does, like Jay said, it would allow you to safely land.
Okay, cool.
It's badly named, though, isn't it?
Yeah, as a monk, I would know that then.
Yeah.
So, I won't do what I was going to try and do, which I think you can imagine what I was going to try and do.
Yep, I know exactly what you were trying to do.
So yeah, I'll just I'll hide with friends on the other side, so we're not all grouped up.
Okay. So if I've got this right, we have in the trees we have Melissa, Ferenz, and Florian.
Yep.
Behind the rock we have Gus, Miette, and Celeste.
Yep.
And in the middle we have Yorick and Trelador. Is that right?
And Overwatch.
Oh yeah, and Bridger's flying about up top.
So what I'd like to do, if I can, is climb onto the top of the rock and lie down sniper style.
Sure. Okay.
I'm going to speak to the vegetation and plants around the trees.
Okay.
And just be like, so friends, we might need a bit of assistance. So I know that this might be asking a lot, but would you be able to help us hide and at the same time give my friend here a good place to shoot from?
Okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage because of speak with plots.
I am so glad for the advantage. Yeah, the first one was a 2. That one's a 14.
14. You say this, and some of the branches seem to sort of just move slightly. You can't tell if it's the wind at first, but then you can see them moving again. Melissa, you find the perfect ambush spot. There's literally a sort of hole the size of your head, just literally at bow height, where the underbrush is concealing you, and the branches of the trees are around you. You suspect you can't be seen.
And
Florian,
friends will just
again,
see this
the trees, sort of bushes, sort of seem to sort of. You find this spot, and it's great. You can see everything, and you can see how to make a quick exit, but you're sort of covered. And for ends, the bushes just kind of just. It's weird. They seem to just encroach in on your space just a little bit, not menacingly, just a little sort of gentle cuddle around your legs.
And the other team will just hear some slight sort of like little harmonics just come from friends as he sort of just giggles. Thank you, friends. I much appreciate your help.
Awesome. Okay, so Can you roll a perception check for Bridris, please, Gus?
Redress.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and I need to do that. Awesome.
Hold on, where's Redress? Here she is. Perception. So that's was wisdom, isn't it? Perception, yes.
Yep.
So that's +2. 16.
16. Okay. You hear in your head Bridris say, Mum,
Yerp.
there's like little bits of fire walking around. And then there's this other bloke, right? He's picking the fire up and he's throwing it about. It's really funny.
All right, I think they're the baddies, so they're
Oh,
going to
shall
come.
I go eat them then?
No, not yet. Wait for them to come to us, and we'll all attack them together.
They look pretty hot though. It's like a barbecue.
Yeah, a pre-cooked meat for you.
Awesome. Righto, I'll keep stationary. I might get a little bit higher though, because like, they look as if they're might spot me.
Okay,
She flies up.
I trust your judgment, my lovely.
Yep, no worries. So, with your ambush plan in place, and the enemy's approaching, we'll cut a little early there, and we'll pick it up next week.
Ready for battle.
Ready for battle, as you say. So, cool. Well, that was definitely interesting. There were some definite departures from where I thought you were going to go, which was cool.
Where did you think we were going to go?
I can't tell you that. You might yet go there.
Because if it was Redport, okay, no.
I mean, that's where you were headed first off,
Yep, it was.
until you decided to go and investigate the fires.
It was just the direction we were travelling. We were going to turn off.
Well, I mean,
We were intent on Midwood.
indeed. So, yeah, excellent. Thank you very much for playing. Sorry it's a bit short this evening, but DM prep is DM prep. You know, sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes we go long, sometimes we go short. So, and sometimes we hit it right exact. No, we never do that.
Never.
That's not. A
That
thing.
was seven fours on D8s,
row.
by the way, in a row.
It's
Um,
just astonishing.
I feel relatively safe. I mean, I feel like we've hit the same number a couple of like before on those, and it's been different places.
Well, somehow I've managed to roll the Abyss, then Dar, and then all of a sudden it's fucking Balo's realm.
Oh, the table changes.
Oh yeah, completely. It's just mental.
But you've achieved something that is 1 in 280,000 chance of happening.
Oh,
Nice.
I feel quite lucky there.
Only if it was intentional.
7 in a row. Yeah, it's 280,000 to 1.
Oh, we got to go for 8 now. 8 fours and a D8.
I can't go for an 8 because the last roll was a 1 for the 1 hour.
Of course it was. Disappointed.
It's
Sorry.
already broken.
Yeah. Okay, so we've plenty of time for Conspiracy Beards if anybody wants to play Conspiracy Beard. Oh, Melissa, hand up straight away.
Droust. I think Droust is up to something. I think, as akin to what I posted in the Helloran Rising one. It's all connecting in my brain. Need that gif of the guy with the conspiracy board.
I don't see that.
The refuge I've not posted that gif. There's a message I put in the Helloran Rising one between the two gifs that are in there.
Right, gotcha. Refugees from
So-
Dortmund being brainwashed by Snow's Temple, then shipped off to Redport for ...
Yeah, and I think Droust might be behind that because he seemed to be the one that held some of the most power in Redport. And yeah, I mean, it may just be me and Melissa going, someone important in my backstory might be doing something. But at the same time, he did seem pretty powerful, and I don't think I would have put it past him to have struck a deal.
Maybe. I mean, it's a thought.
It's conspiracy.
It may very well be a conspiracy being thought.
I think Florian is actually the demon, and he's controlling where the demons go, and he's just wreaking havoc for the fun of it.
So
Florian never came back from the hells.
No, the demon did.
So that came.
Wow. That's a
Florian's
definite
in the abyss.
conspiracy.
It is the
theory.
spy!
Yeah, a second campaign where Fiddy's the spy.
There's not even been a first one yet.
Awesome.
I'll never get over, being in a party where the cleric's being accused of being a spy, whilst I'm sitting there going, "Oh, I sure hope they don't find out I'm a spy."
Indeed. So, anybody else got anything wild and crazy to add to our conspiracies?
Yeah. It's a summoning, but I don't think it's for Fiona. I think it's basically just going to be an army of hers, hell on earth, literally. Because something tells me it's all about blood rituals and spells for her to be able to walk this mortal plane, not just a massive symbol of her symbol, basically. And it's a lot of land they have covered to put these fire bits, so I think it's potentially a chunk of hell coming to Earth, if it happens.
If it was Vienna trying to get herself into the material plane, there would be a lot more blood and a hell of a lot more bodies. Because she's all about that blood, as it were. You'd see the wound, see Melissa's whole thing, see everything. But I'm not sure what she's up to. And that's scarier.
Like this, I think this is potentially. I mean, shit's already gone bad, I suppose. But like, this is potentially like your, like ground zero. 100%. If it goes ahead, if they pull it off.
Interesting. Cool.
Who knows?
Miette, you've tried a couple of times.
No, it's just one of those situations of it's not a conspiracy so much as the act. I'm aware it's not real life, but the real life situation Miette finds herself in, which if she wants to continue getting the favour of Chaos Lord, she has to find her way back to the Devil's Plane, or Demon's Plane, I keep getting confused as well, to get the well back. And it's like, I have no idea where to start with that one.
Yet he
Well, we just
seemed
wait
annoyed.
for 10 levels or so till we're strong enough to kill him, then get him to come to us, kill him, get the well back.
I mean, to be honest, it wouldn't be a campaign run by my dad if we didn't have a BBUG that we swiftly replaced with another one.
Yeah.
Because it happened in the first
That's
campaign.
what worries me.
Or have several at the same time.
Yeah.
but the thing
I
is,
mean, you do seem to be
not,
collecting them.
we're not getting rid of them. We're just accruing more.
Hmm.
Dick,
Well-
you haven't actually killed any of them yet. Well, one, maybe.
In the first campaign, the Baylor devil that we found killed the wizard that we were having to deal with, and then we had to kill the Baylor. Then in the second campaign, it was all Tarkesis. Then we kind of stumbled into Scenario, and then it turned into oh dear, Scorch is going to kill us all.
I mean,
Scorch was fine, he was just misunderstood.
Not nice gentleman.
He was playing the longest of long games.
I mean, Bob was perfectly fine. There was no long-term spy in that campaign.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Bob the Undead Swagon.
Yeah.
Here's Bob.
There's Bob the Squagon.
Oh,
There's,
I've just had a thought. Sorry, go on, Debbie.
No, I was just going to say, there's an idea. There's a blogger that I follow because it's just hilarious. There's like bad D&D ideas, and one of my favorite ones is the disintegration ray that the DM gives to a
Yes.
player. Only it's not a disintegration ray; it's a teleportation ray.
Mhm.
And all of the people they've disintegrated with it appear together at once.
Yeah. That I've seen that one. That's fantastic. I like that idea.
Properly evil.
You see, I'm thinking more of there's a scene in, I think, a Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns is being medically assessed, and they say that he's not dead because all of the diseases are getting stuck in trying to get into him to kill him. And
Yeah.
it feels like that's what we're doing with villains. Like, they're all getting stuck in the doorway.
I mean, maybe.
All we do is just put them all together in the same room and let them kill each other.
I was driving back from WorldCon last night, and my friend asked me what's going on in their D&D campaign at the moment, and I tried explaining. Yeah, his comment was like, "And your what level?"
And so I'm guessing the words convoluted, meandering, and oh my god, we're all gonna die came up.
More or less.
That's fair.
But I need to check my beer. Should still be in
I was
there.
wondering what you think of that.
It should still be in your
My
wagon
caravan.
brewing away.
What, the ridiculously potent brew that you'll probably just sniff and pass out because of.
Yep, that'll be
Yep.
brilliant.
Yep, can't wait
Just
to
had
see
a-
that lot.
You just
Had
have to
a-
get like a pipette and just drip a single drop onto somebody's tongue and they're completely pissed.
I've had a thought, bit of an
Uh-oh.
extension of my conspiracy. It's pretty much right next to the Midwoods. And if it's going to be a literal hell on earth, it's a fucking armada. It's going to be a breakthrough.
I feel like I do agree. I feel that the Wandering Gust camp was more of an omen of what's to come.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay, serious question. Do we actually have like a group chat that doesn't have the DM in it?
Well,
I
there
mean,
was probably 2 or
somewhere.
3 in WhatsApp somewhere.
You should
I'll go
probably
have a
set
look
one
for
up.
it. Okay, have a
Okay,
look for
'cause
it.
I have a
this-
theory about what's going on, and I don't want to say it here now because of the risk of reminding the DM of it.
I mean, this could
Or
be
giving him
useful.
ideas.
I mean, that's
Or giving
just,
them
that's
ideas.
just being a spoil sport.
I think we're also
You have enough ideas.
that we unpaused somebody, and this could be related to them potentially.
That's true.
Tune in next week to find out, guys.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Dan,
Like, we'll
you've
actually
been-
find out anything out.
Oh wow! Look at that. Dinner. Okay.
Everyone. How are we doing?
We're good.
We're
How
still
are you?
not there
Oh god, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, more or less.
Fine, I've got food
So,
now.
the usual.
The usual. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a chip 10 minutes. I can't want it. You know I'm shit with my times.
Dan, you've been very quiet. Anything? Any conspiracy beards?
No, not really. I'm just waiting for something
Something to hit.
for me to be pointed in a right direction and hit.
Fair enough.
I think we're going to have lots of that next week.
I mean,
I've got
maybe.
to say though, I'm fucking loving it though. Absolutely loving it.
Oh, I'm glad you're happy. That's cool.
I love your reaction during that stream sequence.
Yeah.
You're right, that conversation's going to happen.
One thing I'm not happy about, there's not enough buttons to press or open doors to open unnecessarily.
We'll get there.
We seem to have run out of them.
I'll see what I can do, James.
Oh, we charge stuff
You did.
unnecessarily.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent.
Yes, it is. Okay, so we will, of course, be back here next if we're all done with Conspiracy Beards. Yeah, okay, we'll be back here next week for the continuation of this ambush plan, which is completely well thought out and could possibly go wrong. And of course, we might be back here on Sunday for some Monasteries and Mayhem. Hopefully, we will. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, thank you for joining us. If you liked it, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's amazing. We love you. You're fantastic. If you didn't like it, however, off you fuck.